Hi, seniors. Welcome to Senior Capstone, which will be your tech class this year. So, let me tell you kind of a little bit about Senior Capstone, what it is, what you're going to be accomplishing, and kind of what the expectations are. So, Senior Capstone will be assisting you in creating an online portfolio that you will be showcasing your skills, your talents that you can later on use either to get a job, to use in your college application, to get an internship, a job, whatever it may be. And so here's the components of your senior capstone. So you will be creating an online portfolio in Wix, which will have some main components like an About Me page, a contact page, a resume page, but you will also have 3 independent tech projects. What that means is that you get to pick the project type you want to complete and the topic that you want to complete that project on. You go off, you complete it, and then you turn it in. For some of your projects, we will have drafts. For some, you will just work independently in the full project and then just turn it in when you're ready. One tip that I always give students every year is to kind of think about what you are passionate about in terms of technology and in terms of your interests and base your portfolio on that. It sometimes makes it easier to have a consistent theme throughout your portfolio that is going to make you more motivated to want to complete these projects and to make the best projects possible. For example, in the past, we've had students who are very passionate about the environment. So they pick 3 different tech to use and they created 3 separate projects. Like you could do an infographic, you could do a video, you could do photography, you could create a website, you could create a program and code it, you could create a podcast. Whatever it may be, you have the power to create whatever you want as long as it's 3 separate types of technology and 3 separate projects. You do not have to have a consistent theme throughout your portfolio. Like maybe you want to do one about book recommendations, and maybe you want to do an infographic about your travels, and maybe you want to do a photography about the seasons. Whatever it may be, you don't have to have a theme. It just sometimes helps students to have a theme so they feel consistent about it, and so they're putting their best work out there. And now that you have gone through 2 years of ITA, the whole purpose of Senior Capstone is to give you an opportunity to demonstrate your best skills. So these should be very high quality projects. They should be things that you're very proud of, that you're not scared of showing off, because it should absolutely be your best work. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pages that are going to go into your portfolio. So you will have an About Me page, but don't think about this like your social media profile. This is more along the lines of a LinkedIn. So think of it as a professional first impression. So the goal is for you to create interest in your skills and get someone to want to look through your portfolio. You will also have a resume page. In this resume page, you will be typing out your resume and then also uploading a PDF version of your resume for people to download if they choose to. So think about like future employers, if they may want to look at your resume, should be very easily accessible to them. You will also have a contact page, which is a built-in feature of Wix, and it's basically a web contact form that will automatically point people to sending you messages. So we do not want you to putting your personal information out there because for all purposes, you are still a minor. And so we use this contact form for people to just send you a message without you having to give them your email address or any real contact information. And also when you are doing your resume, you should not have any of your personal information like your address, your phone number, your email out there. And so those are your kind of 3 basic pages. Then you will also be making a page per project. So you would have a phase 1 page, a phase 2 page, a phase 3 page, and in each page you will have your project and you will also have a write-up of your project. And we're looking for you to tell us why you were interested in this form of tech. Why was this project significant for you to detail your overall process in creating the project, why the project was significant, how did you approach the project, and how did you get to your final results. So these are just kind of what we're just expecting you to do in terms of your project. Now let's talk about kind of why we do the class this way and why we want you to do. So in this class, you do need 100% to pass the class. And so we are working on you to complete your work, to stay on top of your work. You have all 3 tech projects and you complete all 5 pages of your portfolio. We're also working on building your communication skills and your independent work skills as you're getting ready to transition from high school into college. You're also working on your time management skills. You're working on being open to showing your progress, utilizing your feedback, being respectful of others' ideas. And you should really be finishing with time to spare if you time manage well during the school year. So I'm going to give you a timeline of how we are going to complete this portfolio and how the school year is going to look like. So for this release, you kind of have 2 assignments. So you will be sending me and a parent or guardian an email telling us what your projects are going to be and how you're going to be successful in this class. Then your next task is to do the basic setup of your portfolio. So you're going to be working on the About Me page, on your resume page, on your contact page, and kind of getting everything set up. And then by December 1st, so you do have a long time, your phase 1 project is due. So not a draft, it should be your full project with the write-up completed in your Wix portfolio, completely done. The reason why I'm not doing a draft for your first project is because I want you to think of this project as maybe your smaller project. So maybe pick a either topic or a technology that is not going to take you a really long time, but maybe something that's just a little bit smaller scale, okay? And if you are deciding to do like photography, we are expecting to see about 15 to 20 edited photos. If you're going to do a podcast, it should be a podcast that's anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes or more. So all of these projects kind of have some requirements to them, and you can feel free to pick your technology topics and your projects, and I will let you know kind of what our expectation is for this. So for this semester, there's only 2 assignments that you're doing for senior capstone. The reason behind that is because we want you to focus on finishing up your college apps and getting everything set up so that your spring semester will be all about senior capstone. So when we look at your spring semester, we are going to work a little bit in drafts. So your phase 2 draft is going to be at the beginning of January. Your phase 2 project is going to be due about a month later. Reason for that is because when you turn in a draft, it gives me time to give you feedback, to give you pointers, to say this is what I would improve, or maybe this is what you should be thinking of. And then by the time you turn in your phase 2 full project, then you should be getting all of your points. And if at any point you don't get all of your points, you continue to resubmit with my feedback until you get all of your points. The goal is for you to always have 100% in this class, since it is a requirement for you to graduate from ITA and then for you to be eligible for your scholarship. So then in March, we are going to be working on your phase 3 project. We're going to do the draft at the beginning of the month and then the full project at the end of the month. And then your final portfolio will be due about a month later from that. Again, if at any point you feel like your portfolio is done before the due date, you can send me an email and say, hey, Nino, I would love for you to look at my portfolio. What am I missing for me to get full points? And I'll be more than happy to do that. My goal is for you to be successful, not to trick you in this class. So that is kind of the timeline. You're going to be doing all of this through Wix, and there will be a separate video on Canvas walking you through how to start a Wix, where to find things on Wix. But again, this is what you're completing for this release. So you're emailing me and a guardian, and then you're also doing a portfolio setup. Let me walk you through Canvas so you can see all of the resources I have laid out for you. So when you go into your Canvas course, you have your release video, which you're watching, you have the presentation. Then you have the senior capstone overview and expectations. So if you open this document, you're going to see basically everything that I just talked through. So you're going to see kind of what is expected out of every page, what you need to include in your write-ups, what you need to include in the descriptions, and then you also have some example portfolios for you to look through to see if you can get some inspiration. Okay? Then you also have other things to get you started. So you have your capstone checklist. So this is the same checklist that I am going to be using when I am grading your portfolio. So did you clean up the Wix template? Do you have the right copyright? Are there no grammar and errors? There's your resumes in there. Do you also have a PDF format? And so these are all things that you can be utilizing as you're creating every project to make sure that you are hitting every single mark and getting all of your points. Then I also included for you the portfolio criteria, which is also the rubric that I'll be using. And this is more in a typed format so that you know what parts you're supposed to be hitting. And then this one is what I use when I grade your final portfolio. And I'm giving this to you now so that you know what you're striving for and you know what you need to complete. And then we also have some project started ideas, some example portfolios, and then this is where you're going to be turning things in. So for emailing me and a parent or guardian, you just get your points once I get your email. Now in here, you have your portfolio setup assignment, and this is going to tell you everything you need to do. So you need to do an About Me page, and it tells you what your About Me page needs to include, like a greeting, about ITA, independent technology projects information, your unique qualities, and an invitation for your visitor. Then you're going to be doing your contact form, and it tells you the step, and then it tells you to begin further editing your portfolio. So you need to update your copyright, you need to work on your social media links, and so forth. Then you need to publish your work on Wix. You'll get the URL, and then you will submit that URL here. And once you're all done with that, you will be done with this release. I will be updating the student hour links so you can pop in and ask me any questions, or if you need any help in between, just feel free to send me an email. That is all for this release, and I'll see you in the next one.